Minimalism means many different things to many different people, but I'd say one of its core tenets, that is the consensus amongst most minimalists, is owning items of function and owning items that bring you joy. When I first began to consider myself a minimalist several years ago, it's also around the time that I became a MGTOW in a sense, but without actually having the label MGTOW or knowing that my lifestyle and perspective fit into MGTOW philosophy. When you combine these two things, MGTOW and minimalism, you have a powerful combination for a constant, steady, balanced feeling of feeling content, at peace. If you are not a minimalist, go ahead and try getting rid of something you own that you do not use, that doesn't serve a purpose. Chuck it in the bin, give it away, or even burn it. Now, how did that feel? Liberating? It should feel that way. That is the feeling of lightness. You can replicate that feeling again. Just go on and continue throwing your useless stuff away. If it is something you think you may use in the future but aren't sure, give a waiting period of 6 months to a year, or wait until the next proper season if it is only of use during certain seasons, and when the waiting period is over and you still have not used it, it's time to part with it. Free yourself from the burden, the mental fog of clutter. You know that phrase, tidy house, tidy mind, or at least something along those lines? It's true. When you free up space in your room, in your house, or wherever, you free up space in your mind. This tidiness is especially heightened if you can get your possessions down to a minimal amount, hence the name minimalism. With your heightened tidiness, you can accentuate that even more as a MGTOW when you are aware of the risks of long-term relationships, cohabitation, marriage from the corrupt gynocentric system, and you avoid those risks, those unnecessary risks, well, you just have even more power. You aren't just a minimalist, you're also a MGTOW. You aren't just a MGTOW, you're also a minimalist. I think that these two complement each other so well. I mean, in general, it seems like women tend to be more materialistic, not all, of course, but men seem to be more capable of feeling at ease with less. If you are avoiding the main pillars of the gynocentric system, then you will most likely be less inclined to continue to want to buy more stuff. A lot of the material items you purchase may just be to serve your image for attracting a woman anyway. So I bet you will be able to significantly cut back. That's not to say you can't look good with nice clothing and buy other things for yourself, but going your own way, notice your heightened awareness of the fact you won't be buying things for women anymore. And when you feed into the gynocentric system, do you feel that a woman's materialism rubs off on you? Well, go your own way so you can make it easier to distance yourself from the poisonous, materialistic rat race. Again, for people who may be new to minimalism, this doesn't mean you just get rid of everything, don't buy anything, and just get it down to bare bones essentials, etc. It just means eschew all things that have no use. Minimize your possessions, simplify your shit, organize your objects. If you're avoiding the unnecessary risks of gynocentrism, is it still worth it to accumulate material things? Why? Do you buy things or keep old things because you truly want them and use them? Or is it to impress a woman? Going your own way means you don't need to impress them. I mean, that line from Fight Club in regards to material things seems to me like it has a strong link to men trying to impress women. But I guess to modify for MGTOW and have it still ring true, it could be, we buy women things they don't need with money from a job we hate to impress women that have all the power to screw us over even after we continuously appease their materialistic appetite. I will keep modifying that constantly over time, but you get the idea. I mean, just think, had you been a MGTOW years and years ago, you may have ended up pursuing a career you enjoy, a passion perhaps, and you may not have any college debt, which was accumulated so that you could get a high-paying job, a job where your money is in jeopardy of going towards financing a woman's life without you even being in it anymore. Do you really want to go through all that? I wouldn't. And I don't think a true conservative, at least in the fiscal sense, would want to go through that either. Protect yourself. Protect your wallet. Do not be a human ATM. Don't buy things to impress women that have a high chance of screwing you over, but have a 100% capability. If you aren't buying things to impress a woman, do you really need a big house? Do you need a shiny car? Do you need a wanky, pretentious golden watch? I mean, if those things genuinely bring you joy, then acquire them. But do some introspection. Ask yourself all these questions. And when you do, you will more than likely find that you can forget about material accumulation and be at peace with less. Be at peace with only things that serve you, functional things. Feel content with an organized minimalist pad, a modest abode. As Dave Chappelle once said, if a man could fuck a woman in a cardboard box, he wouldn't buy a house. You don't have to go that far, of course, but just remember that simplicity, organization, space, a place free from clutter will be conducive to putting your mind at ease and helping you focus on other things. Reject the basic assumptions of civilization, especially the importance of material possessions. Tyler Durden. Be minimal. Go your own way. Take the green pill.